If you're on board a vessel and you've got multiple connections, you don't want your IP address to be constantly changing between Starlink and 4G, 5G, or you might have a VSAT connection in.
This is the Ben Taylor Podcast, the home of marine industry insights. Enjoy. Hi everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Ben Taylor Podcast. Today we're on board a beautiful vessel. We're on Perla Bianca that's registered for sale with Arkan Yachts. It's a beautiful boat, but a big thank you to them for hosting us today. We're going to talk about, it might turn out to be a little bit broad, but I mean the core of this is about connectivity, crew and owner expectations of what's happening today, a little bit about the technologies, and then you also do a bit in recruitment and ETOs. So that's what we're talking about. I'm here with Jason. Nice to see you again, Jason.
Nice to see you, Ben.
So give us some context first. What's MIMO Connect about? What are the values and the purpose of the company?
So with MIMO Connect, we started it with our core values of integrity, honesty, transparency, and with MIMO, we do multi-in, multi-arc connectivity for vessels, and we've seen that has been the stay for many yachts. You know, they have diversity within their connections. So cellular, 4G, 5G, VSAT, Starlink, OneWeb. These are all the core connectivity on board vessels.
Right, and that diversity creates reliability and creates, I suppose, responsible dependency on it, so that if the yacht's in a different situation or a different location or
exactly
things, they need these different connect.
Be sailing to a new location where they would like to have a fast 5G cellular for an uplink, and they might be in a marina where they have really good 5G, so they'll be able to hop onto a 5G network or 4G network when they're further out at sea. And then with Starlink, I mean, it's absolutely incredible. It's a game changer for high-speed internet when you're out at sea, and with the low latency as well.
And some people jump and say, well, Starlink's kind of just dominated this space. I get the feeling that's not entirely true. What are the kind of nuances amongst that, where Starlink, yes, is a powerful, very useful technology for yachts, but how do you integrate that into a wider, more reliable offering for all the different demands that a yacht has?
Well, I think every single yacht out there has Starlink.
Okay.
That's a given. The Starlink works in majority of the regions, like throughout the Med it will work, but there are locations where Starlink is not working due to political or the governmental nuances. So
right, okay.
In those locations, of course, you need to use a 4G, 5G if it was available, and also your traditional VSAT connection. But yeah, every single yacht out there would have Starlink now. I mean, it's a no-brainer. You do have Starlink because it's affordable, it's accessible, it's reliable, high-speed internet, very low latency at an affordable cost compared to VSAT.
And so from a crew perspective, what are the demands that commonly come up? So if you're getting inquiries from a boat, what are they saying that says that we absolutely need this, and this is the reason why?
Well, communication is key. You know, you don't want to be out at sea with no internet. Everything from your video on demand, your news, your weather, your instant messaging, communications, it's all done through the internet. So nowadays, internet is it's absolutely key on board a yacht. So people do not want to be disconnected ever.
And so would I be right in thinking that historically, a lot of these systems were actually for the core kind of navigational systems and quite technical functions on board, but now they've broadened out to the customers being, I don't know, everything from wanting their social media feed to work, to watching Netflix and Disney on board and then films, but also from things like crew welfare perspective and being in touch with their families and all that kind of thing.
Absolutely. I mean, back in the day, you'd have to have a satellite connection to make a call to home, which was very expensive, and it wasn't always available. Nowadays, with smartphones, you can easily pick up the phone and be in touch with your family, your friends, your loved ones. So definitely now more than ever, you're more connected. But also a lot of the systems and procedures on board vessels, they're all going cloud-based. So you'll have your planned maintenance, you'll have your emails, you'll have your file system. Traditionally, they would always be stored on the vessel, on an Exchange server, or on a file server, or on an onboard computer. Nowadays, everything's in the cloud.
Yeah, and similar things happened in like land-based offices, right? We used to
Yeah,
have like
yeah.
a computer cabinet or a server room, whatever we
Yeah,
called it.
you'd have an IT
and now
room
it's just
or
big
an
data
IT rack.
centers.
Yeah, with your hard drives. Nowadays, I mean, that space can be repurposed for the yacht designers. They don't need to have big AV rooms.
More space.
You don't need to have satellite TV boxes on board a yacht anymore. You know, you have a high-speed internet, so you can easily stream all your content. If you look at like Sky Stream now, the puck that's just come out for yachts officially, which is amazing. You get 35 HD channels, and you're able to stream your Sky officially as an offshore yacht, which is a game changer.
Yeah.
We're seeing that a lot of yachts will move towards the streaming platforms because of essentially Starlink. Starlink has allowed yachts to be IP streaming all their content from their Netflix, their Amazon, their Hulu, their ATT now, the Sky streaming puck. It's amazing. So a lot of services have moved from your traditional store it on board and playback. Now it's all just streamed through the web.
Yeah. And so what's happened from your services perspective? How do you now support a boat?
Well, we've always supported and put customers first. You know, you lead by supporting your customers, and your customers will look after you.
And what does that look like? Listening to them on the phone and going, okay, you've got this and this problem, rather than saying, no, you need to buy this equipment.
We're not pushing hardware and sales.
I picked that up. I've known you for a while now. I know you're not. You're a soft sell.
If we can make a difference and make your life easier and provide that support, then of course we can recommend the types of connections that you can have on board, the type of firewall that you can have on board, the type of wireless network you might want on board, the type of SIM cards you would need around various regions. So it's a soft sell. Listen to the customer.
Yeah.
Get from them what they need, and then you can make recommendations.
Yeah, and it works really well.
We're not doing a hard sell. I mean, if we can help, just be an ear to listen to what the problems are, and that's sort of how the ETO recruitment first started. You know, speaking to ETOs, and if we move on to the Robertson ETOs recruitment, that we speak to lots and lots of ETOs, engineers, captains, yacht managers around the world that are looking for the ideal person for the yacht, and that's it's worked out incredibly well to be able to.
So really carrying forward that relationship first, the interpersonal skills, and valuing those relationships, and basically hearing people out saying, look, what's your problem? How can we potentially help? And
Absolutely.
going from there, rather than having a bunch of solutions and having them fit the mold. It's kind of
being an ETO on board a yacht, an ETO/AVIT officer. ETO is more electrical, AVIT is your audio visual and IT communications.
Yeah.
It's a crucial role on board these yachts. The yachts are more advanced than ever before. They've got the automated lights, automated TV lifts, curtains, blinds, steward call.
Yeah, I've been speaking to some companies recently that are looking at this whole, like, I'm going to say spatial audio. I'm hoping it's the right term. But as you move around a vessel, the actual audio will follow you around. The lighting will do a similar thing. Like this next level of experience where it's all customized to however the boat's being used.
Absolutely. And behind that, you need a competent person on board to make sure it all works.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And that's really where I believe the ETO AVIT role on board the yacht is one of the most crucial positions to make sure everything just runs smoothly.
Yeah, and that's what you used to do. Is that right?
Yeah, 12 years at sea as an ETO AVIT officer, and then came shoreside to be closer with the family and to be home more.
Yeah,
that's always been the dream. You know, if you're a crew on board yacht, how do you transition to shoreside? Started off with doing the recruitment, and then a year and a half later led us to start MIMO Connect. Just really yearned to get more into the technology again, into the IT communications,
Yeah.
That's where the core of our product is, and we've built a fantastic team around us. From Andy and Stu and Nikki and Freddie. It's absolutely incredible with our team, and the designers, John, and on finance we've got Sean, and shares on marketing, and Sean doing support, and the team is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I think a lot of the industry would absolutely agree with that. So that's really impressive. And recently you've developed the MIMO Go case.
Yeah.
So what drove that as like an initiative and started the R&D phase? And
again,
what is
listening to our customers, and so they were saying, we would love to have Starlink mobile. So that at the moment you have to have Starlink. You can connect it to an external battery pack, or you can connect it straight to the mains, with a long cable. But I mean, where the Mini is incredible, it is mobile. So we then create the Go case where you have a large battery bank inside, and we've mixed it with cellular as well. So the case can have a dual purpose. It will have a Starlink Mini as well as cellular connection, and that makes it a MIMO case, a multi-in, multi-out. So you have multiple technologies. So you can use the case if you're in a shipyard, for example. If you're under a cover, you can then have the Go case connect to cellular. But if you're out in the open, clear view sky, and the Starlink Mini can see the Starlink satellites, then of course you can have high speed, low latency internet through the Go case with Starlink.
Okay, and you talk about it being mobile, and I've seen the actual case. It's not particularly large, and it is truly mobile. But can we just get an idea of why it's so important to be mobile and what level of mobility it is? Because as far as I understand, it's like a case this big, and we're talking about like a small,
it's a ruggedized case.
Suitcase type thing.
It comes in various colors to suit your requirements: black, khaki, yellow, orange, red, and then inside you've got your 6 batteries, which are all 5 amp hour each. So combined usage time with Starlink will give you 22 hours of runtime. Starlink is drawing approximately 25 watts of power. So each battery has 90 watts of power. So it packs an amazing power source. So you can have internet wherever you are. So we had an incident where a specific client, they were going down to Antarctica, and they were like, we have these ribs. We can't install a Starlink Mini on the rib. So they had a case, and they put the case on the bow, on the seat, and everybody was able to connect to the Go case, which was then connected to Starlink, and they all had Wi-Fi on board the rib. And the rib went round to the ice caps and to the
so essentially somewhere with no infrastructure, which otherwise they would be through radio to the boat and have very, very limited communications.
Yeah, you could have radio communications, but if you went around the iceberg and you were out of a VHF range, then you would be cut off.
Right.
So you could still have connection via satellite internet wherever you were.
I did love how you launched this case, because there's a bit of a collaboration there with the whole Antarctica thing, and then when they were in Chile,
they came back to Chile, and we did the launch then, and we did a live video stream
through the MIMO Go case.
We did a case to case a video call, which went down really well, and all the audience were able to see firsthand the power of Starlink, how Starlink truly can connect remote areas in harsh conditions, and it's reliable, it's easy, it's simple, it's a complete game changer.
And it's reliable enough to do a live demo.
Yes, live demo.
On the launch, lots of captains in the room and saying, well, look, don't worry about what we're saying, just here it is working, here they are on the screen doing a video live stream and just talking naturally, like it's perfect.
I would like to say a special shout out and thank you to Starlink, because we've now been appointed as an indirect reseller through our partner reseller Claris Networks. So we're able to support our clients even more with Starlink, providing them with the minis, the high power terminals and the enterprise terminals, and supporting them with bespoke packages and plans that would meet their needs. So we're absolutely excited for the future, and it's looking exciting.
Okay, awesome. And you just mentioned the future. What does this become next few years? What's MIMO working on now? What's the What's the action plan?
So I think in the future, connectivity is just going to get faster, more readily available, and cheaper. We've got obviously Kuiper, which have now launched their 27 satellites on their first launch last week, which is exciting to see.
I don't know much about Kuiper. What's
So Kuiper are going to build out their network over the next couple of years. They'll have about 3,232 satellites in a low Earth orbit, very similar to Starlink.
Okay, so it's a competitor to Starlink?
It'll be a competitor to Starlink.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Kuiper is going to be, again, a huge game changer. We'll have to wait and see how that develops, but it's exciting that there's going to be another LEO player in the field.
Yeah, because competition's healthy, right? So they can kind of keep each other in check and make sure it really is pushing boundaries in terms of
but also then
what's
you don't
capable
put
in
all
the
your
market and everything.
You can have diversity. You can have Starlink, you can have Kuiper, you can have 4G, 5G, you can have your VSAT.
So you can actually jump between the best solution for your situation.
And there's situations where actually you want to have multiple connections. For example, you could have a streaming service, so you can put that on VSAT. Which is a fixed cost, it's a fixed bandwidth, and you can use as much data as you want. So that's an instance where if you had a 5 meg or 6 meg VSAT connection, you could just constantly stream one live channel to the vessel, which you could then obviously show that to the guests.
Okay.
And it's a fixed cost. And then your Starlink is all on data consumption. We'll wait and see what Kuiper does with their billing model. But yeah, it's absolutely exciting.
Okay. So really, like there's new solutions coming to market and integrating those and applying their use cases to yachts. That's an exciting thing. And anything else that's a big kind of development and focus that MIMO are looking at?
Well, MIMO also focus very much on security and cybersecurity for the client.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we look at encrypting all their traffic back to their own IP address, be it to the US, be it in the UK. So all your traffic is encapsulated and returned back to their own home point location. What you don't want, if you're on board a vessel and you've got multiple connections, you don't want your IP address to be constantly changing between Starlink and 4G, 5G, or you might have a VSAT connection in. So you aggregate all those, you encapsulate all the traffic, and you send it back to a known home IP address.
Right, and I'm no cybersecurity expert, but from what little I know, I kind of think of kind of all those different IPs, different entrances and different vulnerabilities to get into the system. So by getting those into one, you therefore can protect one. Is that roughly right? Or
well, you're
not so much.
Essentially protecting you're encapsulating and encrypting the traffic.
Right.
But from a banking and a cloud app services point of view, if you're logging into your email, if you're logging into your bank, they always check which IP address you're logging in from.
Okay.
And if your IP address constantly changes, then your banks have said, hang on, this is suspicious activity.
Right.
So it might log you out. And then it will be a disruption to the end user. So you want to actually have a secure IP, a known IP, so that your apps do not log out.
Right. It doesn't create these anomalies of like, wait, why is 6 different devices over the last week accessing the same bank account? That's peculiar.
And as you change from country to country, your point of presence with your service provider will change.
Yeah.
So if you're a yacht owner or you're a purser or anybody who's logging into services, they'll get really frustrated very quickly if your IP
across
keeps
the
changing.
border 24 hours before it worked perfectly well, and now you're stuck and it doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah. So it alleviates that a sticky point.
Yeah. Okay, Jason, thank you very much for your insights.
Thank you very much.
I always learn so much chatting with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Everybody, thank you very much for tuning in to the Ben Taylor podcast. This one has been with MIMO Connect and Jason Robertson. And again, I need to thank the venue today, which is gorgeous. It's really, really beautiful. It's Perla Bianca. It's currently for sale with Arkan Yachts. Do speak to the broker and the representatives there if you have any connection that might help them out. But this has been the Ben Taylor podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening, everybody. This episode was hosted on board Perla Bianca, a beautiful boat listed for sale with Arkan Yachts. So thank you to them for hosting the episode of the podcast. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.